thought it was going to be a little worse, but I'm happy it's behind me. First game. Too bad we didn't win.
How has this whole situation been for you? How frustrating that you haven't been able to, that you had this injury and you've been out?
Yeah, I mean it's never fun, to be out of the lineup. Had a surgery, and but I did what I have to do. I'm back now, and hopefully it's only going to get better.
Mentally, did you think, well, I'm trying to go easy here? How'd you approach it when you got out there finally?
Not really. I was just trying to go out there, play hard, win the battles, block shots. Do the little things right, especially the first game back. Not do some crazy plays, but just keep it simple. And I thought I did it.
Is it a relief not to have to think about it? I know you and I have talked just being able to play, and did you have any lingering in your feeling, like mentally, about having what you just went through?
No, actually, I feel pretty confident with my groins and everything. It was more like that nervousness you have, and more excitement, a little butterflies in my stomach before the games. But it was like I need that, and I think. It was okay. I know that I'm going to get better.
Is there a point just sort of in the game where you feel like you're getting your legs? Because you can't replicate that same thing in practice. Was there a point for you where it felt a little, I don't know if easier is the right word, but...
Not really. I felt good,
Okay.
But like I said, it's going to get better as I'm going to play more. But I think it was decent for first night, but I wish we would won.
What do you credit that for? Your conditioning to be, you get back in there and you feel, that you can compete, you can stay up with the rest of the guys.
Yeah, I work hard, but you never really know if you're in that game shape. So now I know, and like I said, it's gonna get better. And I thought it wasn't too bad today.
Ondrej, it's been a minute since we've seen you in action, and obviously a lot has happened. But where do you see yourself sliding in terms of just helping out with the team at this point of the year?
I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's up to coaches where they put me in a lineup. I will do whatever coaches want me to do. So just playing the right way. Yeah.
As a leader, someone who's obviously won Stanley Cup championships, what are you telling the young guys in order to just get ready as the season is more than or close to being halfway done?
I mean, probably managing the puck is the biggest thing. Especially the last couple of minutes of each period, we got not very good with the puck. We need to be better in that. So we need to, as a team, not just the young guys, we need to get better in that.
Slotting in on that top line right away, is it easy to slot in with a guy like Nico just to begin with?
I think so. Nico and Brett are unbelievable players, so it was easy for me. They made it easy for me too. So it was fun to play with them.
Jumping right back. We battled. We played decent back-to-back game, but we hurt ourselves more than anything. I don't think it's necessarily, teams are doing a good job. Obviously, give them credit, but I don't think it's necessarily always what they're doing. We're sometimes shooting ourselves in the foot a little bit more than not. So we just got to try to get back to keeping it simple, especially first 5 minutes, last 5 minutes of periods. Go from there.
Teams talk about when you go through a stretch, there's so-called puck luck. You feel like tonight maybe was not a night for puck luck?
Yeah, I mean, their goalie made some really big saves, to be honest. There's a few chances that I had great looks from the point that our forwards are getting, and he was making some phenomenal saves for them. So some nights those are going to go in, some nights their goalie's going to make a save, and the puck luck's not there. But we did get a couple good goals from some good puck luck, and we worked hard to get those goals. But it's just, it seems like some goalies coming into our building lately have really been on their A game against us.
The frustrating thing is that you're not getting the points at home, you're getting it on the road.
We got to get them somewhere, no matter if it's home or road. Of course, we'd love to clean up our home play a little bit more, but we're getting them on the road, so we got to stay consistent with that. But we'd sure like to get a few more points at home for our fans here, and just to kind of get our building a little more intimidating to come into as a opposing team.
Is there something that's different about road versus home? I mean, obviously last change, all those types of things, but where maybe is that disconnect, if you can pinpoint it even?
Honestly, I think maybe on the road there's less thinking. If you want to really break it down, you know, you're in a hotel, you just go to the hotel, you go to the rink, go to the game, play the game. You don't have last change. You just, the line who goes out there's out there. There's no real gimmicks. It's just you're on the road, you go and play, and the fans aren't on your side. Everything's pretty much against you. So whereas at home we got the fans, we got last change. There's a lot more things to go into it. But I don't think it's a secret. We just want to continue to stay successful on the road, and we got to get better at home. It's simple as that.
During the game, Jack was named the All-Star representative. I mean, you've been here with him since his beginnings. How have you seen him grow, and even just seeing his performance tonight, you know, pretty much solidifies why he is that All-Star?
Yeah, well deserved. Jack's a heck of a player. You know, you see him grow from his first year to now, and I think he's even got a higher ceiling. So it's very impressive to watch. It's fun to play with him. Try to get him the puck as much as possible as a defenseman, but like I said, well deserved, and everybody in the room is happy for him.
For this group to have someone like Ondrej Palat back in the mix, I mean, what does that do both on the ice and off the ice as well for you guys?
Yeah. Obviously, the pedigree speaks for itself. The Stanley Cups and everything. Coming back from a long-term injury is obviously tough, but for the most part, he looked pretty solid tonight, and you know, he's only going to get better with time as he gets back into his groove.
I know goalies always stay prepared no matter what, but just, you know, get the cob knowing that you're going in right away. Obviously good to be back, but what's that sort of emotionally and mentally like?
Yeah, obviously you always have to be ready whenever the call comes to get in there and compete, but yeah, that's pretty much the mindset you got to have all the time.
How much easier is it for you in the sense knowing what you had already accomplished? Obviously the result tonight, not what you wanted, but knowing what you've already done to sort of get that last minute call in a sense?
Well, that doesn't really matter anymore. What you've done in the past, you know, you got to prove it again and again, every game. You know, obviously tonight didn't go as I wanted to. Got to be better, and that's how you know, humbling experience as well. You know, just got to prove every night that you belong here.
You say you had to be better. What do you think you have to be better at in tonight aspect?
You know, just making one or two key saves in key moments, just to give the team, you know, a better chance to, you know, tie it or even just stay in the game at a 2-2 game.
Did a couple of those, you know, deflections just, I mean, you look at it as right place, right time?
Well, yeah, obviously deflections are a hard play, but you know, if you put yourself in a good spot, there's a better chance to make that save, even though it's hard.
Your thoughts when obviously your team is buzzing and it just, you know, it's one of those nights where it doesn't get in the back of the net?
You know, we're kind of at the same place we always talk about, where you get opportunities. I thought, you know, the turning point really for me, momentum-wise, was the Mercer breakaway. You know, you got to do something better than that. You at least got to, you know, you got to shoot it. You got to find a hole. If you're a Deacon, that goalie's got to make a heck of a save. So we missed that opportunity to turn around and go the other way. We had other missed opportunities, obviously, but that was probably the biggest one for me.
Lindy, in your experience, when you're seeing your team have success on the road, but it's not happening right now at home, is it anything you're seeing, or is it looser on the road than it is at home?
You know, the number of chances we gave up tonight was very low. The number of, you know, high percentage, like 2-0, was very low. This game had a, you know, different than our previous, but our playing at home, you know, our finish hasn't been, you know, quite as good. I don't know why that is. You know, we had like Tatar had 3 or 4 really good opportunities. You have, you know, Jack had his goals, but had other opportunities. We had some really good looks, even, you know, Holla again. Yeah, those have to go in the back of the net for you. Like, there was different times that we could have put them in a hurt. We were controlling play. We had, you know, the right. I thought after playing last night and coming, our first period was a period that I liked. You know, you don't like the first play. I don't like our defenseman getting beat back to the front of the net. We turn it over right at the blue line. That was probably the only chance we gave up in the period. So there was areas of our game have gotten better, but the finish hasn't been there.
Your thoughts on being able to integrate Ondrej Palat back in, slotting him right on that top line, and what did you see from him in a first game back?
Yeah, look closer at the game. I thought, he handled it okay. Tried to keep the minutes in a relatively medium amount. He was in on the goal or created on the hit. There was stuff I liked, but when you look at the game, we'll take another look at it. I think pace-wise, he still has another level to that. Didn't have the puck a lot, but sometimes the puck doesn't come to you.
The decision then to take out Zetterlund, I mean, is that the trickle-down effect, just knowing that, someone has to come out? And is there something that was
you look at his numbers.
Yeah, that's my next thing.
I mean, let's just look at the numbers. It's got to be better than that. If you're not producing, then you better be hitting. If you're not doing either one, you got to bring something to the table. You look at what Holtz he brought the night before. He deserved to stay in. So Z needs to bring more. You've either got to produce or you got to be a guy that the other team hates playing against.
Why can that taper off so much? Is it a commitment thing? Is it a mentality thing?
I think there's always this. I made it finally.
Right.
Here's the wake-up call. You need to play better to stay in the lineup.
Is Smitty okay?
I think so. The first indication is he is. Yeah, thank you.
In terms of needing to produce, what's keeping Eric Howell on the same line as Jack?
Well, the fact that we get possession a lot more, with Eric. You see that during the game, at times I play Jack with, Cher and somebody else. So it's, kind of a shared commitment on that. But probably the major reason has been that. I mean, you look at, again, Jack scored a couple more goals. You get offensive face-off and you win the draw and you get possession. If we don't have possession, we'll chase it around and they probably go the other way. So, but it's something that, even last night, if you look at times in the game, Eric with his penalty killing he'll miss a couple shifts. Tar or Bratt will be on the line with Jack. So I know that the bulk of the ice time, or majority of it, is with Eric there. And Jack has gone pretty good. So, but there's always that opportunity, and I think you saw Wood and Holtz with him at times in Detroit. So when Jack, who can handle the minutes, plays a lot, he sees those other guys too.
Dougie had a couple penalties tonight and was on the ice for several goals. What did you make of his performance tonight?
I didn't like his game. It's not good enough for our team to win. I mean, you can't get scored against. I keep telling the team, if you want to play more, you can't get scored against. If you're a young player and you want to play, don't get scored against. Obviously, I thought he could have been better.
Lindy, you talked about the finishing. What are some of the things you guys are going to work on in order to find the back of the net more often, whether it's making lineup changes or maybe looking at film and saying we need to be at this position in order for it to go?
Well, first you have to create the opportunities. If you create them, it's finding it really is finding the holes. I really felt the last 2-3 games we're starting to generate the type of opportunities that we did on a consistent basis when we were really going well. If we finish, we're in a lot better place. But we spend half the practice with drills that are conducive to creating the opportunities, and then you stress making sure you finish. You don't go by the net. You hang around for second opportunities. I think if you look at one of the goals, was Jack's goal was great net front. You're around the net, it comes to you, and all of a sudden it's in the back of the net. So those are the type of opportunities you'll stress, along with a lot of the the rush type opportunities.
Do you take in consideration when you have a young goaltender having to come from Utica and what you thought you saw from him tonight?
Yeah, I think we'd want a little bit more. He played. I think there's a couple goals there he'd definitely want back. He played so well for us, gave us, he gave us, 5, 6 victories, whatever it was. He had been playing well down there. So, it was a situation where a lot of times even him playing the puck really breaks up the other team's offense. I thought he did that well, but you look at a couple of the goals you'd want to save out of him.
Finally, Jack's development under you and now being named again to an All-Star, just how you view that.
He's really, again, he's come a long ways. Well deserved. You look at his game and he keeps elevating his game and competitive. There's areas of the game we keep working on to make him a better player, and you've got to continue to grow. But he has come a long ways, and he puts the work in. He's a guy that every day at the end of practice he's there for the extra work. He's working on his shot. He's working at being around the net more. I think if you want to be a true goal scorer, you got to be around the net more. You have to score the type of goal he scored. That first goal. Those in-tight goals, it'll either be a tip, a deflection, a second opportunity. So you got to give him a lot of credit for where he was at, where his shot was at, how that's really developed, and he's got to continue to grow. It's a nice reward for the type of year he's having. A great reward. Great to see a player like that on our team being rewarded, but we got to continue to grow him. Thanks.